and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, people in the Cumberland Valley region are still talking about the earthquake they felt yesterday afternoon. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds is in Whitley County. She caught up with some folks that were working during the tremor.
Now, I've talked to several people as well as seeing on social media, everybody in Whitley County talking about feeling that earthquake from yesterday that we had just north of Knoxville. We had several people reaching out to us telling about how their pavements were cracked just south of Williamsburg or how their houses in Whitley County shook them awake. Some people even thought that there was some type of explosion. Employees at G&E along the Cumberland River say they did notice some things were a little strange during the quake, but did not realize that it was actually an earthquake when it happened. Waitress Cassie Pointer says she was a little shaken up after they found out.
Especially like our location, we're pretty much right in the middle of town, and I just thought, like, how in the world did I not know there was an earthquake? Because that's something that like everybody knows happens when it happens.
Now, Cassie did tell me that in retrospect, she did notice some things during that earthquake, like the lights going off, after talking to people that were in the restaurant and her boss. For now in Whitley County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, coming up tonight at 6, you'll hear some of the frantic 911 calls from people in Whitley County right after the quake.
Ooh, it was another chilly day here in the mountains. Some of us woke up to a little bit of surprise of some snow. Others just saw some flurries. One of those areas that saw flurries, National Weather Service camera in Jackson. But that sunshine came out very quickly, melted most of that rain most of that snow, excuse me. We can see just clear skies as we head into tonight. Buffalo Mountain also seeing just not a cloud in the sky and that beautiful sunshine. We're going to continue to see that beautiful sunshine, but as you see on satellite and radar, we've seen those clouds and those snow chances get out of the area for today. But those temperatures still in the area, seeing those upper 20s to lower 30s and mid 20s in Wise and over into Pikeville. But I promise we have one more very chilly night before we start to see warmer temperatures move back into the mountains as we head into the rest of the work week. And by the end of the work week, we'll be tracking our next system that'll bring those rain chances back into the mountains. Yes, that continues even as we head into the weekend. I'll have those details coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. The first phase of President Trump's impeachment trial is underway in the Senate with arguments over the rules for the process. The resolution will now allow each side up to 3 days to present 24 hours of opening arguments after pushback from moderate Republicans. That will be followed by 16 hours of questioning by senators. Only then can they debate and vote on whether to have witnesses. The House investigation record will also now automatically be admitted into the evidence.
This is the fair roadmap for our trial.
The McConnell resolution will result in a rushed trial with little evidence in the dark of night.
Opening statements are expected to begin tomorrow afternoon. Senators will leave their electronics in a cabinet and sit silently during the marathon trial proceedings. If you scroll on Facebook, you can easily see how divided this country is politically. Even a family dinner can turn into a shouting match. Well, one man in Florida is accused of taking it too far when he murdered his pro-Trump boss. Mason Toney is accused of stabbing his boss, William Knight, yesterday. Knight was known as a major supporter of President Donald Trump. Local deputies say they found Knight's body draped with an American flag. Investigators say there were a number of witnesses at the time of the crime. Toney was arrested following a brief chase. A Texas robbery suspect is dead after police say they jumped out of a U-Haul truck during a chase and was run over by it. It happened in Houston. 3 suspects led officers on the chase that lasted about half an hour. Officers say a woman driving the truck intentionally hit a Houston police vehicle. She and another suspect were arrested. Today, University of Kentucky researchers announced a project that plans to rid Perry County of hepatitis C. WYMT's Katie Cook is in the newsroom with more. Katie?
Steve, this is big news for local health officials and the community of Perry County. It is called Key Treat, and it is a study to see if providing immediate access to treatment will improve the health of people living in Perry County. Now, this comes with a $15 million grant that will treat anyone 18 years or older in Perry County who tests positive for Hep C. And this comes at no cost to them. An estimated 900 people are currently infected with Hep C in the area.
I was down here last week and we had a participant happy tears because this is the first time that she had been treated so respectfully and like a human being, and that we were actually able to take care of her hepatitis C.
Anybody who suspects they are exposed to Hep C can visit the ARH Medical Mall in Hazard, where there is a clinic space for the study. While ridding Perry County of Hep C is their goal right now, they are hoping they can use this study as a model to help other communities as well.
Katie Cook in the newsroom, thank you. The CDC is reporting the first case of a new coronavirus in the United States. At least 6 people in China have died from this virus, and nearly 300 people have been infected. The virus, which causes a pneumonia-like illness, appears to have originated in the Chinese city of Wuhan. The first case reported in the United States is in Seattle. The CDC says a traveler from China was diagnosed in Seattle with the virus. Some tense moments for people after a propane truck crashed. The fully loaded tanker flipped over on Kentucky 643 near 1781 in Lincoln County. WYMT's Phil Pendleton is there with more on what happened.
Just after 10 o'clock Tuesday morning, a tanker carrying several thousand gallons of propane flipped on its side. Police say the back of the truck went off the road and the driver could not regain control, and it hit the ditch, causing it to overturn. It happened right in front of Boy Smith's house, who was at the grocery when the crash happened. He and several others could not get to their homes while crews worked to contain the spilled gas, investigate the crash, and remove the wreckage.
Obviously, any propane fumes could be possibly flammable. They did check the surrounding area to make sure nobody was in the area.
Think about getting home, yeah. Right there. Blows my house up. I ain't got nowhere to go or nothing.
Police say the driver of the truck was taken to a Somerset hospital for treatment of minor injuries. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Kentucky Vehicle Enforcement investigated the crash scene and were assisted by firefighters, a hazmat crew, and the local sheriff's department. The visitation begins in less than an hour for a beloved former Hazard teacher. Susan Fouts Melton died Friday. She taught in the Hazard Independent School System for 27 years and then worked for Upper Bound at Hazard Community and Technical College. Her parents ran Don's Restaurant in downtown Hazard for decades. Melton's visitation is from 5 until 8 at Maggard's Mountain View Chapel. Her funeral is tomorrow at noon at the Mother of Good Counsel Church. Susan Melton was 72. NBA player Chandler Parsons' career may have ended following a crash. A drunk driver is accused of seriously injuring the Atlanta Hawks forward. Parsons was driving home from a team practice when the crash occurred. His legal team says he was diagnosed with whiplash and a concussion. Parsons also suffered permanent injuries, which include a traumatic brain injury, a herniated disc, and shoulder tear. Parsons, who is a Florida native, entered the NBA in 2011. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Tuesday afternoon. The Dow closes down today more than 151 points. Boeing 737 MAX is now officially on hold. The company confirmed last night its Washington assembly line stopped building the best-selling plane. The 737 MAX was grounded in March after 2 deadly crashes that killed 346 people. Although Boeing could not deliver the 737 planes to customers, the company continued to build the jets. It now has about 400 completed jets parked in Washington and Texas, waiting to be delivered to airlines around the world. Boeing hoped the plane would fly again before the end of 2019, but in December, the FAA's administrator said approval would not come until sometime in 2020. Crystal, a popular burger chain in the Southeast, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The South's answer to White Castle was founded in Chattanooga and first opened in 1932. For now, its 318 restaurants continue to operate. Crystal executives blame increasing competition, shifting consumer tastes, and the rise of online delivery platforms. In a statement, the company says it is hoping the Chapter 11 filing will enable the burger chain to reorganize. Crystal recently relocated its headquarters to Atlanta. Straight ahead on First at 4, what would you do to protect your child? Find out what one New Hampshire man did during an animal attack.
And sunshine continues for a few days, but rain is on the way by the end of the week. We'll talk about our next rainmaker coming up.